That we do. So once again, this is the grand finals here. 50 euros on the line between these two players. We have mouzMorroW taking on cHobo. cHobo currently up 2-1 here in this Protoss versus Terran matchup. He actually was leading 2-0, but mouzMorroW coming off his first victory of the series, of course, in Game 3, and now trying to tie it up. Whereas cHobo trying to keep the momentum he had going from earlier on, now on Xel'Naga Caverns, as we do have one of the spectators lagging out. That's the unfortunate thing about having so many spectators. If they lag out, it actually slows down the whole game. So hopefully, there he goes, he leads the game. So that's going to be that. So we are good to go. We have cHobo spawning at the top right, and of course only two spawn points. We have mouzMorroW spawning at the top, or bottom left, excuse me. So again, expect standard play from both these players. Really, we've seen all 3 games so far. Nothing really too crazy, other than mouzMorroW hiding racks, which on this map you can definitely look to do. Again, a very big platform to work with when it comes to your home base, and you can definitely look to sneak something, or as vice versa, you know. You can look to go into your opposing player's base and kind of catch them off guard with the cheese stall strategy, as we've seen a couple of times so far throughout this tournament. So, from the way these two teams or players have played, I don't really expect anything like that.
That is right here, and I love this map we have here up, and I did just witness here mouzMorroW being catch up, using all his SCVs, going to the to his command center. I don't know, a little bit misclick here happens sometimes, so nothing funky of course still yet, both players. And cHobo, I think he really loves that map. He has a small ramp, he can easily defend against any kind of early marauder pushes with one force field of course, and I think he might opt to go a little bit more robo oriented build this time, maybe Colossi, since siege tanks you can of course use them by, if you expand towards your opponent with siege tanks, you can use them at the gold patches and try, but there's still big chokes you have to worry about. You can counterattack from 2 sides. That's why most people will start doing third on a lot of barracks and factories just to get a artificial wall there.
I'm actually watching a point of view from, it's pretty awesome, even in spectator mode you can look at the point of view from both players and look at their camera and watch what they do. How fast they move and their quick reactions. A lot of fun to watch that. But anyways, yeah, back to the game itself. So yeah, very standard, of course. Barracks going up currently for mouzMorroW. Gateway already just finishing right there for cHobo, of course, with the assimilator. And is that a... Nope, that's just a pylon. Expect the cybernetics core to come up any second. And there we go from cHobo. So, very standard. First Marine coming out, though. And that'll be able to get this probe out of here, hopefully. It was just causing some harassment, sitting by and getting some scouting going on. SCV going out for mouzMorroW finally, so he's going to do some scouting himself. Not going to run into too much, of course, as cHobo is going for the very usual builds. With the cybernetics core just about finished, and that Chronos boost to get those probes going. But the SCV going to come in right here. No Zealots going out just yet. Again, he is, as we've seen from cHobo, he has a tendency to just go straight for Stalkers, not worry about the Zealots unless he needs to, obviously. And in this case, he doesn't need to. Getting the gateway, warp gate research, and the Stalker. There we go. Chronos boosting the warp gate. And once the Stalker comes out, this SCV, of course, will be taking a lot of pressure. So, second barracks going out. So we're not going to see 1-1-1. We are going to see more style of NMM style build, perhaps, for mouzMorroW once again.
Yeah, looks exactly, and I think he's choosing this, especially on this map, when you can use a lot of nice drops here, dropping right and left all around, attacking from lots of different angles, and using the mobility of your MMM forces, especially on this map. You can easily counterattack just watching at the map. There are always these back routes you can use here behind the bushes on 2 sides, so if you have just a big blob of an immobile army, it can really bite you back in the ass in the end if you get counterattacked.
cHobo going for something interesting here, something we're not used to seeing him, going a second and third gateway, so he's getting 3 gateways up right away, very early on for him at least, and I don't know if it's, I wouldn't think it's because he's reacting to something, because again, as far as mouzMorroW is concerned, he's going pretty much the same thing he did last game, in fact, getting those Marauders out, going for a Marauder heavy army, or Game 2 I should say. A Marauder heavy army, it's the second racks and the reactor being built onto that, so pretty much the exact same thing as Game 2, and what worked well for cHobo was the Immortal style army, and of course he will not be able to get that earlier on, going for the 3 gateway, but now he's taking on 2 vs 2 fight against these Marauders, trying to micro that 1 Stalker away. Gets a good job of that, and he takes out the 1 Marauder, and now it's a Stalker versus a Marauder. The Stalker ends up falling back while the probe was just sitting nearby. Just sacrifices that probe, but yeah, now just keeping the Stalker spawning though. And here we go with the warp gate. So now he has 3 warp gates to work with. He's warping in a couple of zealots right here for tanking purposes and commanding the front lines. And here goes the expansion for cHobo as well. Of course, same thing though. though, for mouzMorroW. He's getting his expansion up. So again, although being different races, kind of mirroring in a very similar style build, a third rack's going up for mouzMorroW now as well. And it's pretty much game 2 all over again as far as mouzMorroW is concerned. Again, that's why I'm expecting a robotics facility to go up as soon as possible here for cHobo.
Exactly. Wouldn't be surprised to see exactly the same build like in map number 1, but this time we see expanding at the exact same time. Both players are looking up to macro up, and mouzMorroW is getting a little sneak here with those initial marauders trying to peek up top there, just watching what's in there, getting some intel of the army composition, sending one little poor marine out there, just seeing the expansion coming up, and of course all those stalkers. And it's really bad if you don't have concussive shields. You cannot really retreat since those stalkers are faster, but he is using a stim to retreat from that battle, but getting a little bit damage of course on his forces off the stim.
Yeah, his stim had to stim away right there, but he's going to be fine for the most part, only losing one marine. And cHobo playing a little bit more counter-aggressive here. Again, comment we made on him is he has a tendency to play more passive at times than he should, but you know, he is in the grand finals and he's up 2-1 against mouzMorroW, so when you really think about it, it's kind of hard to question that so much. But he is going to start to expand a little bit more here with his army, getting to the secondary Xel'Naga tower and forcing this marauder to fall back. Good job by mouzMorroW though, not sacrificing the marauder, instead moving him just in time, knowing that it was coming, of course, having control of it. But the army of cHobo, again, he falls back himself. His more convenient Xel'Naga tower, and we'll get him vision as a result of that. But the second Nexus has finished. Still no robotics facility though from cHobo. This is very, in all the games we casted it for tonight, the best of the 5 games from the semifinals, and now this is the 4th game here in the grand finals. Expect that robotics facility to be up a lot sooner, but he finally gets it warping in right here, so we will be able to start getting those immortals out as what was so effective last time against these this marauder style army. But it is going to be a little bit later than he had in game 2. Which he won, of course. So, and it looks like mouzMorroW might be making a move himself before cHobo can get those immortals out. That would definitely be to his liking as he's starting to move out. Obviously, it's quite the distance though before he makes it all the way over there. But yeah, with the robotics facility just coming up now, expect cHobo to start getting those immortals out.
Absolutely right. He's even warping in some more additional gateways, since he will have a lot of minerals here coming in from saturating both bases here, and he's also going for a little counter attack just with his stalkers and sentry forces, and